Hi, I'm Trevor Scheim from TICTAC Communications. We're going to give you a brief demonstration of how to use TICTAC. We feel that because it's a visual drug identification system, the easiest way for you to see and understand what it does is to, well, see it. So we're going to give a few examples of how to identify drugs, and we're also going to show you how to use it for obtaining drug information. The examples that we're going to go through now involve using TICTAC for law enforcement. If your interest is in healthcare, there's another video for the healthcare market that can be found on the healthcare portion of our website. So what we're going to start with to begin with is simple identification of tablets. And if I grab one of these from amongst the thousands and thousands and thousands that make up our database, this one in particular is a white round tablet, and it has the markings HCO on one side, and on the other side the markings 200. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the TICTAC system. I'm going to go to the tablet page, which is already open, and I'm simply going to type in the markings. The rest of this page are areas of input for any physical description of the tablet that you're trying to identify, but I think we can do it just with the markings. So I've entered those, and I'm now going to hit retrieve, and there we have found our tablet. That took about 3 seconds for me to type it in and another second for it to come up. So we have now successfully identified this, and what we can see from this is what it is, which is hydroxychloroquine. And if you don't know what hydroxychloroquine is, then we simply click on the ingredients button, and it will tell you here that it's an antimalarial and an anti-rheumatic. And if you're not sure of what that is, then we can click further, and this will tell you in layman's terms what this tablet is used to treat. We can also look at what it is, and is it a controlled substance. This is telling us that it's a prescription-only medicine. If it were a controlled substance, it would tell us so here. Going a little bit further into the information, we can look at cross-reactivity with drug tests, and we're going to use the cross-reactivity for some of the Alere-Concertino tests. And what this is showing as I'm scrolling through is if someone is being tested for a series of drugs and they're on this medication, will they show up as a positive? And that's what we would call a false positive. And the answer is yes, and we can see here that there will be 2 tests it will show up positive on. One is the oral fluids crystal meth test, methamphetamine, and the second is the benzodiazepine test. And equally with the Alere split their test between methamphetamine and MDMA. So what that means is that if someone is on this medicine and you drug test them with these tests, they're going to show up positive, even though they may not have taken those. It is simply the medicine that is cross-reacting with the drug test. We're going to clear this and go back to another example. And in this case, we have a yellowish white tablet, and it has the letters OL on one side and the number 6 on the reverse side. So again, we're going to simply type these in. We're going to say that it's round, and we're going to click retrieve. And again, within seconds we have found our tablet, and we know that it's something called olanzapine. It is also a prescription-only medicine. Now, if you don't know what olanzapine is, we simply click the Ingredients tab, and we can see that this is an antipsychotic. Now, this is really important if you have someone that you've taken into custody and you're processing them in the custody suite, or they come in through reception in a prison, because you have a duty of care for their health, and knowing that they possibly suffer from psychoses would be really, really important. The last example that we're going to show in terms of identification has to do with tablets that don't have any writing on them as those did. So the markings that I used to find this don't exist on this tablet, and you probably can't see it, but there's no letters or numbers or anything you would find on a keyboard. But what there is a diagram of a lion. So we're going to go to the logo page. We're going to simply type in lion and hit retrieve. And now what I need to do is look for one that matches this logo, and this is it here. If I double click on that, this is confirming that that's the logo I'm interested in, and now I want to see products behind it, and there I have identified my tablet. In this case it's MDMA, and as you'd expect, it's telling us that it's a controlled drug Schedule 1. If we'd like to know the class, we click the ingredients and it will tell us that it's a controlled drug Class A. So hopefully that has shown how easy and fast it is to identify medicines and drugs using TICTAC. But TICTAC has a lot more to it than just identification. There's a lot of drug information about drugs, drug abuse, and related topics in TICTAC. And so I'm going to give you a couple examples of that. And to start with, let's suppose that you overheard someone speaking about ice, and you didn't think they were talking about keeping their drink cold. We have a drug slang dictionary in TICTAC, and I've just clicked on that. I've typed in ice, and I'm going to hit retrieve, and now I'm just going to flip through, and it's highlighting everywhere that it finds the word ice, but I want to know what ice is, and there I've found it, and this is telling me that it's used as a term to describe a couple of drugs. One is crystal meth, one is cocaine, and one is a drug referred to as 4-Max on the streets. So that's the drug slang dictionary, but there's much more than that. Let's assume perhaps that you would like to find some information on crack, whether it be for a presentation or something for an upcoming trial. Simply type in crack, hit retrieve, and a list comes up, and if we just scroll through these, the types of things that we have in terms of information about crack, we've got the paraphernalia for it, images of crack, how crack is smoked, various pipes, videos on how things can be made into pipes from just standard household goods, diluents used to make it, purity levels, and how crack is made. And crack is an interesting one because there are many ways to make it, and most of those involve only things that you would find in the house. And that's why we put these types of videos in here, so that if you are searching someone's house and you come across these things that you know to be a bit suspicious as to what they may be. And the last thing that we're going to show you is dealing with new psychoactive substances. We've got a lot of them in TICTAC. Now, TICTAC is primarily used to identify tablets and capsules, and many of the MPS come in powders and herbal forms, but we have many, many in. And the way in which we find these, if you'd like to look at them all, is to go to any product, and we come down to category, and we select unlicensed, and hit retrieve. And you can see that at the time of this video we had 992, and we can just scroll through those. You can see these are herbal, synthetic cannabinoids. We'll get into some stimulants, powders, etc. Now, any of these NPS products can also be found by searching TICTAC either through their name, Recharge, their brand name if they have one, or their ingredient. So you don't have to scroll through it like this. If you want to find something specific, then you can. So that's it for the examples we're going to show. Hopefully you've seen that TICTAC is not just a fast and easy way to identify drugs, but it's actually a very versatile tool with the drug information that's held within it. If you have questions about TICTAC, would like further information about it, or would just like to talk to us, feel free to get in touch using the contact page of our website. Thanks.